Nervous system consists of three main parts. First one, central nervous system or CNS, then peripheral nervous system or PNS, and third one, that is autonomous nervous system or ANS. So we can see that human nervous system, it mainly consists of three parts. First one, that is central nervous system or CNS, then peripheral nervous system or PNS, and third one, that is autonomous nervous system or ANS. So the first part or central nervous system, it mainly consists of two main parts. One is brain and second part, that is spinal cord. So the brain as well as the spinal cord, they together form central nervous system. Then again, this brain, the first part of this central nervous system, this brain, it comprises of three parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So the brain, it consists of three parts, or brain we can divide into three main parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So the second one, that is peripheral nervous system or PNS. So that is of two types. One is cranial nerves as well as spinal nerves. So the cranial nerves, they are 12 in pairs and they are mainly arise from brain itself. So the cranial nerves, they arise from brain itself and they are 12 pairs in number. On the other hand, the spinal nerves, they are 31 pairs. Spinal nerves are 31 pairs and arise from spinal cord itself. Then the ANS or autonomous nervous system, it consists of sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system that works during emergency situation. And just opposite to sympathetic nervous system, this parasympathetic nervous system that will works. So sympathetic nervous system, it mainly works during emergency situation. On the other hand, parasympathetic nervous system, it will work when our body will take rest. So at rest, parasympathetic nervous system will work, and during emergency situation, sympathetic nervous system will work. So this is the figure that shows the structure of brain. Or brain means it is one of the most important part of central nervous system. Already I told this central nervous system, that is consists of brain as well as spinal cord. So first we can discuss about the structure of brain. So this figure, it shows the structure of human brain. So the first of all, the outermost protective layer. So outermost protective membranous layer, which consists of three layers and it forms meninges. And these three layers, so it consists of three layers and it is known as meninges. So meninges forms the outermost protective covering of human brain, membranous protective covering, that is known as meninges. So three layers are present, three membranous layers. So pia mater, dura mater and arachnoid. Pia mater, dura mater and arachnoid, that three layers, they together known as meninges, and which forms the outermost protective membranous covering of brain. And outer to this membranous covering, bony cage is present, and that bony cage is known as cranium. So cranium forms the outermost protective covering, or it is a bony cage. Okay, cranium forms the bony cage or the outermost protective covering of brain. Okay, bony cage, outermost protective covering, that is known as cranium or skull. Cranium or skull. And inner to this cranium or skull, the protective membranous covering, which is made up of three layers of membrane, that is known as meninges. And three other parts of brain. First part, that is forebrain. So this part, it consists of forebrain. Then the middle part of the brain, it consists of midbrain, and the lowermost part, that is known as hindbrain. These three parts together forms hindbrain. So the forebrain, it consists of cerebrum, mainly the part of cerebrum, then diencephalon as well as olfactory lobes that are present in forebrain. Then the cerebrum, it is the largest part of brain or largest part of forebrain or the largest part of brain, that is known as cerebrum. And the cerebrum, it is mainly concerned with the seat of intelligence, memory, thinking, reasoning. So all these are the main functions, or all these works are controlled by cerebrum itself. And you can see that here one more part is mentioned, and this part is known as corpus callosum. So corpus callosum. That means the brain consists of two halves or two partitions here. Two halves is here. Right side as well as left side. Clear? And these two, right as well as the left part, these together known as hemispheres. Cerebral hemispheres. It is known as cerebral hemispheres, and these two cerebral hemispheres, right side as well as the left side, right half and left half, and these two halves or two cerebral hemispheres are connected together by a cord-like structure that is known as corpus callosum. So these two parts are connected together by corpus callosum. And thalamus is almost located in this region. Thalamus as well as just below the thalamus, hypothalamus is located. And the main function of thalamus, that it controls or it sends sensory impulses. Okay, sending of sensory impulses. And hypothalamus, it is the main side, or it controls the process of hunger. Okay, the process of hunger, then vomiting, okay, then thirst. All these are controlled by main center, that is known as the hypothalamus. Clear? Then a smaller round body present here, and that gland is known as the pituitary gland. And this pituitary gland, it is an endocrine gland which controls the secretion of hormone from other glands. So pituitary gland is smaller, round body. So that pituitary gland, that is the main endocrine gland which controls the secretion of hormones from other glands. Clear? And almost in this mid region of this brain, that is known as the midbrain. So mid region of the brain, midbrain, and it will connect this upper or forebrain with hindbrain. That means the upper region, that is forebrain, and the lower part, that is hindbrain. So this midbrain or this particular part, this midbrain, it will connect forebrain with hindbrain. Clear? Then the third part, that is hindbrain, and this hindbrain contains pons. This bulged part, that is known as pons valvulae, and the second region, that is medulla oblongata, and third one, that is this part, that is known as cerebellum. So pons, medulla oblongata, cerebellum, they together forms hindbrain. On this lowermost part, it is known as brainstem. Okay, another name, that is brainstem. That means this lowermost part together known as brainstem. And the cerebellum or this medulla oblongata, the lowermost part. Okay, this medulla oblongata, it continue downward as spinal cord. Clear? So this medulla region, its lowermost part, it continue downward through this backbone. Okay, along almost all the part of this backbone and this spinal cord, that is present in the back side or the backbone. Okay, so medulla, it continue as a long tube. Okay, long tube, and it is known as or cord-like structure which extends from this medulla to backbone. Okay, almost all the part of this backbone, and it forms spinal cord. And the main function of the spinal cord, it controls the reflex action, or it controls this reflex action, or it is the main center of all the reflex actions. So by acting the center for reflex action, the spinal cord, it reduces the workload of brain. Okay, by controlling the reflex action, the spinal cord, it reduces the workload of brain. So this is the overall view of a brain. And this figure, the small grooves and folding, small folded structures, small folds as well as small grooves which present in the cerebrum. Okay, cerebrum contains small grooves as well as small folds. Okay, so it increases surface area. Okay, it increases the folded structure or small grooves as well as small fold which present in the cerebrum part or which present in this forebrain part. It increases the surface area to accommodate more nerves in it. Okay, so it provides more space for neurons, or it increases the surface area, or it increases more space, or so that this brain can accommodate more nerves in it. Okay, so it gives more space for nerves. Clear? So cerebrum. Then pituitary gland, small round body, that is known as pituitary gland, that is endocrine gland, then the midbrain, then corpus callosum. Corpus callosum connect the cerebral hemispheres of the two sides of brain, right as well as the left halves together by a cord-like structure that is known as corpus callosum. And the lowermost part, it contains cerebellum, and its cerebellum, medulla oblongata and pons, they together forms the part of hindbrain. And the cerebellum, it is mainly concerned with the balancing or equilibrium of body or muscular equilibrium or coordinate. It helps to coordinate all the muscular activities, main function of cerebellum. Then medulla oblongata, it is the center. Okay, it controls the breathing. Okay, respiration process or breathing, heartbeat. Okay, controls heartbeat as well as breathing process, that is mainly controlled by this medulla oblongata. So the central nervous system mainly consists of brain and spinal cord, and in brain we have three main parts. One is forebrain, then second one middle brain, and third one that is hindbrain. So first we will discuss about forebrain. So forebrain consists of three parts: cerebrum, olfactory lobes and diencephalon. So the main function of cerebrum, it controls the intelligence, or it is a seat of intelligence, and it is a seat of memory, and it is a seat of thinking, emotions, reasoning capacity, ability, etc. As well as this is the most or the largest part of brain. Cerebrum forms the largest part of brain. And main function, it controls intelligence, memory power, emotions, willpower, reasoning capacity, ability, etc. Then the second part of forebrain, that is olfactory lobes and two small lobes which controls the sense of smell. Clear? So olfactory lobes means it is related with the sense of smell. Main function, it sends the smell. Then third part of forebrain, that is diencephalon. Diencephalon means it consists of two parts, thalamus and hypothalamus. So the function of thalamus, it sends sensory input of impulses, or it sends sensory impulses. Main function of thalamus. Then just below thalamus, hypothalamus is located, and the main function of hypothalamus, it controls body temperature, thirst and hunger. So the main function of hypothalamus, it controls body temperature, hunger, thirst, etc. So these three parts together forms the part of forebrain. So cerebrum, it main function, it controls intelligence, memory, thinking capacity, etc. And olfactory lobes, it mainly concerned with the sense of smell. And third part, that is diencephalon, and it consists of thalamus as well as hypothalamus. Then the second part of brain, that is midbrain. And the main function of midbrain, it connects both forebrain as well as hindbrain together. So the main function of midbrain, it connects hindbrain with forebrain. Then another function of this midbrain, it is concerned with sight and hearing reflexes. Okay, it controls the process of sight, eyesight, as well as hearing reflexes. So the function of midbrain, it connects hindbrain with forebrain, as well as it is concerned with the sight and hearing reflexes. In the third part of brain, that is hindbrain, the main part of hindbrain, cerebellum, pons paroli, and third part, that is medulla oblongata. Then the cerebellum, it is also known as little brain. Cerebellum is also known as little brain because it mainly concerned with the balancing of body. Okay, body balancing or body posture, maintenance of body posture, as well as equilibrium of our body, as well as it controls the movement of muscles. So that is why the cerebellum, it is known as little brain. Then the second part of hindbrain, that is pons. Pons is also known as bridge because it connects part of cerebrum, cerebellum, as well as medulla oblongata together. Or it acts like a bridge and connect these three parts like cerebellum, cerebrum, and medulla oblongata together. That is why this pons forms bridge, or it is known as bridge. As well as it controls sleep and pattern of breathing. So pons, another one more function is also there. It mainly controls the sleeping as well as the pattern of breathing. So it pons, the main function, it acts like a bridge. That means it connects the three parts like cerebrum, cerebellum, as well as medulla oblongata together and act as a bridge. As well as it controls the process of sleeping as well as the pattern of breathing. Then the third important part of hindbrain, that is known as medulla oblongata. And this medulla oblongata, it controls the process of breathing or respiration process as well as the beating of heart, then circulation of blood, then swallowing of food. So this medulla oblongata, that is why any injury to medulla oblongata, that will lead to sudden death. Why? Because it mainly controls the breathing process, respiration as well as heartbeat. So it mainly controls all these vital processes of our body. That is why if there is any injury to medulla oblongata, then it will lead to sudden death of a person. So these three parts together form hindbrain. Then these three parts are main three parts of our brain, which is one of the part of central nervous system. Then the second part of central nervous system, that is spinal cord. So spinal cord, already I explained, spinal cord means it is a cylindrical cord-like structure, okay, cylindrical long cord-like structure that extends from this medulla. Medulla means this medulla oblongata, and it will move downward. Okay, downward to this backbone. And main function, it controls reflex action. Okay, spinal cord mainly controls reflex action so that it helps to reduce the workload of our brain. Okay, spinal cord, by controlling the reflex actions, they helps to reduce the workload of our brain. So these two parts, like brain as well as spinal cord, they together makes central nervous system. Then second part of this nervous system, that is peripheral nervous system. And peripheral nervous system, it consists of mainly two types of nerves. One is cranial nerves and second one, that is spinal nerves. So cranial nerves, they arise from brain. Cranial nerves arise from brain and they are mainly 12 pairs in number. On the other hand, spinal nerves, they mainly arise from spinal cord and they are of 31 pairs. Okay, spinal cord mainly they arise from spinal cord and 31 pairs in number. So both these, like cranial nerves which arise from brain as well as they are 12 in number or 12 pairs. On the other hand, spinal nerves, they arise from spinal cord and 31 pairs in number. So both these cranial nerves as well as spinal nerves, they together forms peripheral nervous system. Then the third part of nervous system, that is autonomous nervous system. So autonomous nervous system, it consists of two main systems. One is known as sympathetic nervous system and second one, that is known as parasympathetic nervous system. So both these sympathetic as well as parasympathetic nervous system, they are antagonistic in nature. Okay, they are antagonistic in nature. That means both having opposite reactions. Okay, both are having opposite reaction or opposite functions. So sympathetic nervous system means it mainly was during any emergency situation. Okay, during any emergency situation, sympathetic nervous system will was, and parasympathetic nervous system during the relaxing process or during rest condition. During rest condition, parasympathetic nervous system will work. That means both are having opposite functions. So, the sympathetic nervous system during emergency situation, it prepares our body to face any emergency situation by increasing the rate of heart or heartbeat, by increasing heartbeat, as well as by increasing the process of respiration, as well as by dilating bronchioles, okay, by increasing blood pressure. So it helps to face such type of emergency situation by doing all these processes, like by increasing heartbeat, by increasing respiration process, as well as by increasing blood pressure, as well as by dilating bronchioles, etc. So this adrenal medulla, adrenal gland, it is an endocrine gland, and adrenal gland have two parts. One is medulla and another part, that is cortex. Okay, adrenal medulla as well as adrenal cortex. So it mainly secretes some hormones or chemical substances which are known as hormones. So this adrenal medulla, it mainly releases hormones, adrenaline or noradrenaline. And mainly these adrenaline hormones like adrenaline, it is mainly known as emergency hormone. Because adrenaline, that is mainly released during any emergency situation. Okay, so that is why it is known as emergency hormone. So the adrenal medulla, it releases adrenaline, that is emergency hormone, and it further increases the process of blood pressure, heartbeat, as well as it increases the process of respiration. Like this way, we can overcome that emergency situation. So this is the main working mechanism of sympathetic nervous system. On the other hand, parasympathetic nervous system, just opposite to the sympathetic nervous system, this parasympathetic nervous system works at the time of relaxation or at the time of rest, when our body is under rest. So it helps to restore heartbeat, then respiration, blood pressure, etc. Okay, heartbeat, respiration, blood pressure, etc. to a normal level. So parasympathetic nervous system, it helps to restore normal heartbeat, normal respiration rate, as well as normal blood pressure after this emergency situation. That means mainly when our body under relaxed condition or in rest condition, parasympathetic nervous system will work. That means during the process of digestion, okay, or during the process of digestion, body will restore heartbeat as well as respiration, then blood pressure, etc. That means when our body is in relaxed condition or in rest condition, this parasympathetic nervous system will work and it will restore normal blood pressure, heartbeat, as well as respiration. So sympathetic as well as parasympathetic nervous system, they together forms autonomous nervous system. So nervous system, central nervous system, then second one peripheral nervous system, and third one, that is autonomous nervous system.